Charles Leclerc has an unwavering loyalty to Ferrari, wanting nothing more than to win them and the tifosi the world title they so eagerly crave. This season looked to be that season, with Charles having a 40-point gap on his nearest rivals at one point in the season, but with numerous strategy errors, has Charles' patience finally worn thin with Ferrari? We think it may have, so stick around to find out the latest bombshell he dropped on Ferrari, and in particular, Binnito. A strong start of the season led people to believe that this could finally be the season the Ferrari challenge and win the championship. But unfortunately for the Ferrari faithful and Leclerc, Ferrari proceeded to self-destruct in the races leading up to the summer break. Reliability failures in Spain and Baku, strategic howlers in Monaco, Britain and France, combined with general operational mistakes, quickly extinguished any of Leclerc's aspirations to fight for the crown. After seeing his chances of winning the F1 championship slip through his fingers, Charles Leclerc has admitted that this season needs to re-zero before each Grand Prix, having let Max Verstappen easily win his second championship, leaving Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez in a fight for second place. Sergio Perez currently has the lead over the Monegasque. Leclerc responded that it was a normal part of seasons in general when asked how he had managed his mental state given the heartbreaks he'd experienced this year. There are always ups and downs, he said, certainly more so this year than in previous years. Leclerc noted that the middle of the season was particularly challenging, but mentally he's always been able to reset before each race and enter a race with a regular perspective, having forgotten what transpired in the preceding races. Leclerc won twice in the first 3 races of the season before having just one victory in the subsequent 17 Grand Prix races in Austria right before the summer break. In the Dutch Grand Prix to the United States Grand Prix, Leclerc enjoyed a run of 5 straight victories on the podium, but abruptly stopped in Mexico as Ferrari lagged far behind Red Bull and Mercedes. Leclerc describes how he prevents himself from thinking not again and how they always follow the same procedure whenever a mistake or something goes wrong. He emphasized that one should always attempt to grasp at where something is coming from before looking forward. According to him, that is what they did this year and will continue to do so. Charles Leclerc has addressed his future at Ferrari after a promising but difficult 2022 Formula One season thus far. It started out with a lot of promise for the Italian team, but a combination of poor reliability and strategy errors derailed their hopes of winning a title. The Monegasque driver was Max Verstappen's closest title challenger for most of the season, but was unable to stop the sheer dominance of the Red Bull racing team. The Dutch racer wrapped up his second consecutive Drivers' Championship with 4 races to spare in Japan. Leclerc remains Ferrari's best hope of winning their first F1 Drivers' Championship since 2007. The Monaco-born driver, who came up through the Ferrari Driver Academy, is contracted to the team until 2024. He remains committed to the Maranello-based team with whom he wants to win titles. "I have a contract until the end of the 2024 season, and today I see this deadline as a long way off," Leclerc said as quoted on Formula One News. "I've always loved Ferrari. I want to win a world title with this team, and I do want to do it as soon as possible. When the time comes to evaluate the future, I'll think about it, but I love this team." Leclerc was also asked about Ferrari president John Elkann's deadline for the team to be champions by 2026. The former Sauber F1 driver acknowledged the challenge, but made it clear that he does not plan to make the passionate tifosi, fans of the famous red mark, wait that long. "I know that the president has said that it's a goal to be achieved by 2026, but as a driver, I cannot think about this deadline," Leclerc added. "I am very impatient. I will prepare and do everything possible to be world champion in 2023. Leclerc will need to improve as Ferrari's performance in the Mexico City Grand Prix offended him. At the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, Leclerc finished the race in 6th place, 1 position behind teammate Carlos Sainz, and more worrisomely, more than a minute behind the winner Max Verstappen. While Verstappen set a new season record for victories and appeared at ease in the lead, Sunday's race brought Ferrari's eventful weekend to a close. All weekend, the F175 had appeared uneasy in its surroundings since neither of its drivers could keep up with Mercedes or Red Bull, with another error costing Ferrari as Charles crashed his car into the barrier in practice. The thing that hurts is that I feel we've maximized everything on race day, and even though we've done that, we are 1 minute away from max, a huge difference, Leclerc said post-race on Sunday. We need to look into that and make our bad days better, mostly because whenever we have a bad day on the Sunday, it seems to be a really bad day. On the other side, Di Resta criticized Ferrari's poor performance. I fear for Ferrari because since July, they've not really been in with a chance to win a race. They're out of it and Mercedes have caught them, Di Resta said. Mercedes have overtaken them on a Sunday. On a Saturday, I think they can still pull it out, but I fear where the Ferrari development path is going unless they've switched off that early when they realized the championship, was out of reach. That concept came out of the box absolutely superbly. It's gone on, and it's not quite there. Charles Leclerc questioned recent news regarding the widespread criticism of Mattia Binotto and Ferrari. According to Charles Leclerc, Ferrari should not concentrate on the negativity spreading about them as they attempt to recover from a disastrous 2022 season. A Ferrari supporter would have snapped your hand off if you had told them last year that they would win 4 races and finish in P2 with only 2 races remaining. But as the campaign ends, there is a great sense of disappointment given their excellent start and the performance level of the F175. But the most significant source of grief is how Ferrari has distanced itself from Red Bull and Max Verstappen. Ferrari may have had the fastest car this season, but its performance has drastically declined due to unreliability, poor strategy, and driver errors. The squad has also developed a reputation for shooting itself in the foot. Any error is now met with memes of another Ferrari moment on social media. Leclerc has suggested he and the team ignore the mounting backlash on social media throughout the season. "I don't pay attention to that," he told Motorsport magazine. "I'm sure there was a lot of negativity circulating at the time, but I don't think we should focus on that. That doesn't help. We have to concentrate on ourselves. At a certain point, you get used to it and you just have to move on. I don't want to focus on what is being said externally. I just look at the team and make sure they know exactly what we need to work on." Also receiving more attention is team president Mattia Binotto, who had requests to be replaced early in the season. Leclerc advised the team to concentrate on what they can do better in 2023 rather than that. The driver, presently ranked 3rd in the drivers' standings, remarked, "We shouldn't focus on what's going on externally. When something goes wrong, people criticize, sometimes without any reason. F1 is a very complex sport, and it's very difficult to understand exactly what's going on unless you're a part of it. That's why we shouldn't let it drive us crazy. We have to be honest with each other internally and build on that." Leclerc is already looking forward to the next season, saying he will do everything to become 2023 world champion. Of the 22 team principals to have sat in the hottest of Formula One hot seats at Ferrari, it is Binotto who has been faced with one of the toughest times. Unlike some previous occupants of his role, Binotto has not been challenging and winning titles, but instead trying to awake the biggest of sleeping giants. In terms of 2023 targets, it remains a simple one for Binotto: win the World Championship. And while his job is safe for now, any more embarrassment and the 23rd Ferrari team principal may soon be installed. And that's a wrap. We need to hear your thoughts on this. Comment down below.